Hi, I'm going to show you how to mount the iO1 onto a wall, both vertically and horizontally, using the bracket provided, as shown here. Okay. So, first and foremost, when you're fitting it to the wall, in this application here we've got plasterboard, so you need some plasterboard fixings, okay? But if you are installing it on the wall, for example, comes included with the raw plugs and the fixings here as well. Okay. This is ideal for outdoor and the brick. Okay, so that's really important. And before you start, just make sure, again, checking for electrical cables behind. You've got like a stud finder in the kind of plasterboard scenario, and also it's really important for water behind as well before you start any wall work on the wall. Okay, so what we do here, trusty pencil. Okay, so we're going to put it roughly in the centre of the wall here. Okay, so what we're going to do here is roughly the distance between the top of the bracket here and the top of the speaker is around about 100mm. So what we can do here is we say, okay, here 100mm up, that's where I want it, roughly about here. So this is where I'm kind of wanting to put it here. Okay, so in the centre line. Okay. So also really important, level, really important. So once you kind of offed up, you know where your line is in the centre. Okay, put your level on top, make sure it's all nice and square. That's the side here as well. Okay. Get your levels all nice and plumb, so the bubble's in the middle. Okay, that's all good. And once you're happy with that position, then just get your trusty pencil, just make some circle points or a point on your brick or your plasterboard. Okay. And using the fixings, these are not included, these ones, you can buy this at your local reseller, those ones. Using a screwdriver, just by pressure to, and then just give it. Actually, I've got a stud wall behind here, so in this instance you don't need to use plasterboard fixings if you do have a wooden batten behind it. So in this case you use a wood screw, as I'm about to put in now. So you'd use a wood screw, something similar to like that. Okay, and then what you need to do then is on the wall here, using your fixing points you had before, just offer those up, apply a little bit of pressure. Just make sure, put the level back on, get the bubble in the middle before you tweak up the screws and go too tight. On the bottom. Okay. Just give it a little bit of a jiggle and make sure the bubble's in the middle. Okay. So you're checking the top and the side, and we're all good there. There we go. Lovely. Ends come out. Oh, it's still in there. There we go. It's still in there. Thank you very much. There we go. Don't over tighten it because you will break the bracket otherwise. Okay. Make sure you put it on a relatively low torque setting so you're not going to break the plastic. Okay. That's really important. Okay. So once you've got in there, just give it a little bit of a wiggle. Just make sure it's not loose. In this instance, nice and tight there. Okay, what's really important before you go into the next stage here is, in a typical scenario of an installation, you'd have the cables going to the back here. we cover that off in a separate video, okay? Also, what's really important, there's a indexing lug here, on here, and equally there's one on the top of the bracket as well here. So when you're offering it up, you can kind of feel it in this the little slot at the top, okay? So before we start doing that though, what you need to do is remove the cover, okay? So if you get yourself a card or something, as you can see here, there's a little slot, and just give it a little bit of a open and it will come off like that, okay? And then what we have as well is two bungs at the top, so you need to remove the bungs out the top here, okay? Where are the bungs? Okay, so we're going to remove the bungs this time. There we go. Just take those out, put those in a safe place for later. Another one at the bottom, there's two here. Okay. And then we're going to look at the screws. Okay, so there's two screws that come in the pack. They're very, very similar in size wise. The length is different, so you need to choose the longer one this time. The longer one of the two. Okay. And also what you need to do is need to use the spacers, the chunky fat ones with the 3M tape at the back. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to fit that onto the back of the speaker. So if you remove, let me just put the speaker down. Here, just remove the plastic on the top. I can remove it. There we go. Oh, there we go. Then what we do is, on the back of the speaker, you can see there's a recessed hole here. This is for this spacer here. Just put the sticky side up and make sure you offer it up so you can see through the product, okay? So you push it into the hole. Just give it a little push, a little bit of a wiggle, push, and you do that for the other side here, okay? Same again, the camera a bit easier this time. This time on the other side. And you're asking yourself, why am I doing this? The reason why is because it takes up the slack between the gap so that you're not compressing the screw on the bracket and causing failure of the actual fixing method. Okay, so it gives you a really nice sturdy fixing. Okay, so we're going to use the larger of the two screws. What we're going to do now is, you can see the hole here. I'm going to offer it up into the hole and push it all the way through. Do the same for the other one. Offer it up into the hole. Using a screwdriver, just give it a little nudge, and you'll see it protruding through, so you know you've got the right screw. If you've got the wrong screw, it won't come through. So that's really, really important. Can you see that at the very end? It's got a, see at the very end, here we go. Can you see it's protruding through? You know you've got the right screw type if you've got that coming through. Okay, so just make a note of that one. Okay, so now we're going to fix it onto the wall. So, as I mentioned before, there's a little slot at the top here. It's really important you index that to the top of the bracket here. Okay, so we're just going to do that now, and you'll get a good feel for it. So as you offer it up square to the actual product, you'll feel it kind of notch in. There we go. So it kind of feels like that. So as you jiggle it up and down, you feel it's in a slot groove. Okay. So once you've done that, just hold it nice and firmly with your opposite hand, otherwise it will drop. So just make sure you can feel it here. Okay, so now you're starting to feel it. That's what's really important. We're using a screwdriver rather than using a tool, drill. It's because you won't feel this part, and sometimes if you overdo it, you over torque it, and you could damage the fitting inside the bracket and it would just spin. Okay, so once you get a feel for it, just give it a couple of turns and you're good to go on that. Don't need to go crazy. Okay, and again, just turn it and you'll get a feel for the screwdriver. Just give it a couple of turns and that's all you need. And then again, give it a little bit of a shake and you know it's on. Okay, that's firmly on. Okay, so once you've done that, get bungs back and put those back in the holes. Again, that makes sure the speaker becomes weatherproof. Just push those back in. Your grill, apply it to one edge first, guide it down and release that, and then go onto the magnets nice and neatly here. Okay. Okay, so for cable management side, what you need to do is feed the cables either through the bottom, through the hole at the bottom, or through the top. But again, that really depends upon really where this little lug was we had at the top, where you were offering it up and down. So if you've got that at the top, then you need to feed the cables through the bottom. Okay, and we'll cover the cable management side of it on a separate video. Okay, so this is ideal for vertical mounting like we've got here, or horizontal mounting for like a soundbar mode. But it's ideal really if for different options, where it be if you don't have a corner, you can put it on the wall. So this is a great solution for on the wall mountings for horizontal or vertical mode. Okay. Okay, for typical mounting methods for indoors, either on a pillar or either side of the kitchen cabinets, it's ideal for vertical mode. Or underneath the cabinet, you can do that as well, which is perfect. For outdoor mode, either side of the patio doors, aiming at either barbecue or the seating area. So that's really ideal for those kind of situations. For many other mounting methods, please check out our other videos, and thanks for watching.